Good morning, people of Earth. Thank you for joining the 12 Today After Show. Paul Gerke standing alongside Emma J, James Quinones, and Vanessa Ramirez.
Standing, we're sitting.
Standing, sitting. I'm trying to make it sound like it's an urgent show, but that's not really what we do here. It's more chill.
No, we have urgent news to tell everyone about.
Woo! Wait, what?
I teased about this yesterday.
You did tease it. We saved this. We're gonna get. Well, actually, can we just get the whole thing? Jimmy Q's married.
Yay!
Look at these photos.
You did it!
Yes.
JQ and his gorgeous, gorgeous wife.
So skinny, dude. How much weight did you lose for this?
32 pounds.
Holy
Oh
smokes.
my gosh, tell us all about it because it was a huge secret.
Yeah, it really was. We just wanted it to be just the two of us, and it meant the world to us. It was with my best friend, and it was just going to be us. And we went to Santa Barbara. We scouted this. We went like 3-4 months before. We picked our location.
You guys have traveled to Santa Barbara quite a bit lately.
It was very sneaky.
I should have known.
Yeah,
There's
because
so
you know
many
I'm a
things
San
now.
Diego guy.
Yeah, I know.
So you didn't catch up on that.
I didn't.
Vanessa was starting to sniff around. I had
Yeah.
to get this done really quick here before she found out what was going on.
I was like, you're not going to invite us to your wedding, are you?
You went on Saturday,
Yeah.
and then tell us a little bit more.
Oh, you get into the airport because we pre-scouted. It just helped us out. We knew where the rental place was for the rental car. We knew which hotel we were going to stay at. We knew which way to turn to get out of the airport to head into Santa Barbara. We stayed at the Hilton right there on the water. Had a special suite, the little honeymoon suite thing that we were going, and it was just beautiful there. And then, like I said, the big day was on Monday. And it was at the courthouse.
Okay, and no one picks Monday for a day to get married.
Very quiet. And if you know anything about the Santa Barbara courthouse, it is gorgeous.
It's not a courthouse.
It's like a castle.
Yes.
I mean, it really is a courthouse, but it is like a castle. It is beautiful. You could shoot 100 different places. We had Karen D Photography took our pictures there. She had a lot of our stuff, which was really awesome.
Look at
I saw some of the pictures from inside and outside the courthouse. I mean, Jimmy, it is stunning. Tell us about the dinner afterwards.
Yeah, it was great. After the ceremony, we went home, changed. I stayed in my suit. She got into her cocktail dress, and then from there we went to this place called Lucky's, which is it's a steak and chop house. It's the guy that used to own Lucky's, the jeans, and he sold it, and he owns restaurants now.
It's a place that like Ellen DeGeneres goes to,
Yes,
Oprah goes to, Rob Lowe.
Yeah, it's all the celebrities in that area go to it. It's huge. Katy Perry, it's her place as well. Which was just really cool. We went in there and we actually sat in a special seat that we pre-booked in there, and it was Carol Burnett's seat. It's her two-top where she went for her after they got married, and we sat there, and she happened to be sitting right next to us.
Wow.
Carol Burnett.
Really?
And so they start talking to us, and she starts telling us the whole story, and her husband tells us the whole story, and the couple keeps engaging, and we're talking, and they took our picture, they went around, their picture's up on the wall right next to us.
Right behind you is her picture, and she's standing
She's right there. Yeah.
Crazy to me.
And
it took you a while to recognize.
It took me about 5 minutes. There's just a nice people. They were just nice. And then her husband said, "Yeah, our picture's right there where you're sitting. It's right. We sat in that chair." And I'm like, "The picture, but that's Carol Burnett." And you know, Carol Burnett, she had these beautiful glasses on, but kind of sunglass, you couldn't quite see.
Yeah.
And then you realize, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it's Carol Burnett." And then they're just talking to us. They're so nice. And afterwards, they got up and they left, and we laughed. And we're still eating dinner. We're in the middle of eating dinner when the waiter comes over to us and he says, "Your meal has been picked up by Carol Burnett."
Oh, wow. What a great wedding
We
present.
didn't finish it.
Wedding dinner.
They picked up our wedding dinner, and this place is not cheap.
Your wedding dinner paid for by Carol Burnett.
Yes, that was talk about paying it forward. She did not have to do that. She could have sent a bottle of wine. She could have bought a dessert.
Yeah.
They could have done something. I don't, but they did not need to pay for the whole meal. And my heart has been so touched.
If this doesn't work out, where do you go from here? Like, does Kevin Federline pick up your next wedding bill? Like,
I mean, he has a lot of money now.
right?
I have no idea. Well, we walked in the room, and Kim was in her wedding gown, and she had the beautiful bouquet of flowers.
Aww.
So I mean, everyone kind of got up, and she made the big scene walking in. So I think it was just great. So it was fun. It was a special time for us.
I have the chills.
I know.
We're
so excited for you. Congratulations. When you sent that picture, I was like, I knew it. I was so excited.
And we've been to enough weddings where it's just all of us have been there where I've seen the bride and groom just go crazy. You got to thank the relatives and Aunt Rita and there's Uncle. Thank you for coming and great and your best friends and this was just us. We just focused on us.
Good for you.
And
I've never seen you so happy and so content.
Oh, well, I hit the lottery.
You
know?
really did.
And that's the way every guy should feel. Like, you hit the love lottery.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a great person. And to put up with me, oh, my gosh.
We've seen Jimmy Cute through a lot of phases
Yes.
in his life.
Yeah.
We
Yes.
really have.
It's been-
Viewers at home, you know, it's been so much fun watching you, but this is by far my favorite because you just seem so happy.
I'm in the
and
club. I
How's
can't
that ring
believe it.
feel?
It
Yeah.
feels amazing. And I keep touching it, and I keep trying to touch the other finger. Like, my ring's gone, but I'm not wearing it on this finger. This is the finger that I'm wearing it on.
First time
right now.
ever wearing one.
Yeah, first and only. First and only, and it's the coolest, like, ever to have this. I'm just so, I couldn't wait. Even the night before, I was like, I want to put this thing on.
Did you pick it out?
You said your son
nope,
helped
she
you.
picked it out. My son, yeah. We got a bunch of them, is what we did. And then we just started just seeing what we were going to go with. And I like the traditional at first, but then this is a little bit more modern now.
So
kind of the
cool.
brushed. And
It looks great on you.
yeah, it feels good. And everything is going to, I can't believe it. And life goes so short. I just can't wait to do it.
All right, congratulations,
Enough about me.
JQ.
Thank you guys so
So
much.
happy.
All right, let's get into the actual show itself, guys. We'll start with In Case You Missed It. One of our favorite moments from 12 today. This is going to set the table for our next discussion.
All he wanted to do was play soccer for his high school. But when one junior didn't make the varsity team and wasn't allowed to play at all, his parents sued. According to school rules, if you don't make varsity as a junior, you cannot play JV. But how does that make sense, right? However, this rule only applies to boys' teams. The boys' parents say this is age and gender discrimination, but the court ended up siding with the school, saying high school athletics are a privilege.
Interesting. I don't know why he wouldn't be allowed to play on JV.
You think you would want him if he was good enough to try out for varsity? You probably would want him for JV, wouldn't you think?
At least a role model for the younger kids, right?
Yeah. Huh. Well, you go, Mom and Dad, for at least trying. You got to stick your head out for your kid.
Are you going to be that kind of parent when Eli gets cut from the AYSO soccer team?
Listen, I was kicked out of my brother's volleyball game. Like, that's how intense I get at this. I don't trust myself. I would rather Eli just be an artist.
There's a
you know?
picture of her outside of a bunch of buildings. Like, do not let her
Or
in.
like a theater, or like into theater or something, because I'm too nervous when it comes to these sports things. And also a little crazy.
So, as is the way this show normally goes, we want your reaction to this story. What do you think about the kid not being allowed to play junior varsity? Do you think it's discriminatory? We got people weighing in already. Frank says no, kids need to learn they will fail at certain things in life. They need to learn how to get over something like this. George says if my kids didn't make the team, we'd prepare better for next season and try out or try a different sport. What do you think?
You go. You know soccer better.
Okay,
than anyone.
I'm going to go for the school and against the school. For the school, I get it because I used to play JV, and a lot of teams, a lot of schools, I don't know why they would bring down kids from the varsity level to play on the JV because they could, and they would just destroy us in a game. I don't know why they would do that, so I understand that cutoff. If you don't make it and you're a junior, tough. Another problem, though, against the school is a lot of kids, they're not ready to play varsity, and you can develop them. They can play in the JV level. They're not good enough for varsity yet. But that senior year, when they come back, they could be good enough. So
That's what
they
I
might
don't
be hurting
understand.
too.
That's what bugs me is that this guy just obviously wants to play.
That's it, yeah.
You know, maybe he made the wrong choice trying out for varsity instead of just going straight for JV, but you should just be able to put him on the JV
I think we're
team.
all in agreement on this, but I'm going to try to play devil's advocate just to try to understand the other side of this.
Yeah.
What about the kid that doesn't get to play JV because his roster spot is taken up by this junior who's supposed to be on varsity?
Yeah.
And so now there's a log jam through the whole system. Now,
kid.
Right. Now this freshman who's talented enough to play JV doesn't get to play because this older kid is hanging around the JV squad. I don't know. Is that part of it?
Yeah, you know what? I don't think there's any discrimination here. It's just their ruling and for their reason. You're right. There's 10 different reasons why, and I think yours is just as valid. What if it does? What if, I'm sorry, you just weren't good enough to make
But
the
as a
varsity?
parent, would you take it all the way to suing the school?
No,
I
that's
think
a
I
little
would be
extreme.
upset.
That's
I
part
would
of life.
protest a little bit. Yeah, but to sue the school, I mean, that's just wasting money, isn't it?
Well, Monique says, this is ridiculous. These parents are nuts. If your kid isn't good enough, get them a private coach so they can prove their skills and try again next time.
I just think I don't know, yeah.
Georgie says the same thing happened. My kids could not play JV if they didn't make varsity.
So maybe if I wonder too in the story if that kid knew that going into it. Like, dude, if you're not going to make the team, you can't play JV, so good luck.
And that's what Sean says. Got the right attitude. Don't make the team, get better, or find something else that's a better fit. It's a life lesson. You're not always going to be good at everything you try. And maybe after 3 years in the system, freshman, sophomore, and now as a junior, you realize maybe I shouldn't be playing soccer. Maybe I should try out for the track team.
Yeah.
Maybe I should get into TV.
I remember when I was in when I was in 8th grade. And I come from a very big volleyball family, so I felt like I should play volleyball. But I'm, 5'0" and not the best at volleyball, but I tried out. And all the 8th graders were on the A team, and I was put on the B team with the 7th graders as an 8th grader. It wasn't great. I didn't learn anything. What I did learn was that I'm not good at volleyball, and I should stop. So that's where my career in volleyball
That was the lesson you needed to learn, though.
It may have been better, though, if I wonder if it would have been just better if I just got cut,
Yeah.
and didn't go through that whole season of figuring out that this wasn't the sport for me, and I should save it for my brothers who are all over 6 feet. But yeah,
in real life, in the workplace, there's different ways of letting people go or letting them down easy too. Sometimes your schedule will change, or they'll make your work days you said you couldn't work, and then when you can't do it, you got to go. I feel like in high school it's a similar system, just different. There's different mechanisms involved with getting kids to get out of sports. Like when I played football. And I say played in quotation marks because I didn't do a whole lot of playing. I did do some practicing, and I did do some quitting because my mom couldn't get me to practice on time. And so the coaches knew that I wasn't good enough to play. I went to a big school. We had like 100 kids on the varsity football team. They knew I wasn't going to play. And they saw that I wasn't even getting to practice on time. And so, like, their way of getting me to quit was just punishing me over and over again for something out of my control, like being late. And so when your life is a living hell, you're like, you know what? This is not something I want to be doing. And so it happens organically. You quit. As opposed to them telling this kid, well, you can't play JV and you didn't make varsity, so you're out.
Would you have preferred them just saying, you're not going to play, we want you off, or the way that they went, which was kind of letting you down easy?
Well, there was a vested interest in keeping me around because I'm at least a warm body that the other kids could rough up, theoretically. So I'm maybe more valuable to them standing on the sideline.
What's so sad about that is the fact that if you were good enough, they would have looked the other way.
Absolutely. Absolutely, JQ. I can't tell you.
I don't like that double standard.
I can't tell you how many times kids got suspended for one thing or another. We had a bunch of kids that brought like chewing tobacco and booze into like a football camp. They got suspended for 2 days or something. The kids would even show up in practice. They weren't allowed by state rules to wear pads at practice because they were suspended, but the kids would show up without pads and still practice, like kind of like a loophole in the system. And of course, because they were good and big, strong, tough kids that were willing to practice without pads on, that's how big and tough they were, they just let them do it.
I wonder psychologically, and no one can answer this question unless you are, certified in this, but psychologically, what's better for someone at that age, going through high school? Is it better just to cut them, or is it better to let them down easy?
Cut them.
What's better?
Cut them. You got to do it. Yeah, it's going to prepare them for the real world because that's what you're going to do. You're going to keep getting cut in life until you find out something you're good at.
Then why do so many people go that tactic of letting people down easy? Is it because it's more on us that we feel guilty?
Yeah, probably the individual. Yeah, like you said, it works. Sometimes even in a work situation, they'll tell you, "We need you here. We need you in this position now." Or you're gonna, and the coach too. We need you. Just say, "Look, you're not good enough. You're not cutting it." That's just the numbers, and that's the way it should be.
Vanessa, what are the people saying?
Yeah, so Melissa Joe says, no, my son made his team this year, but I completely had him ready for the letdown in case he's younger and doesn't play as much, but understands why. He knows his time will come, and the harder he works, the better his chances will be to get more play time.
Preparing them for what could be.
And then Santiago says, come on, seriously, is society really that soft and spoiled, that life, the way that they're doing this? So, I mean, I don't know, everybody has...
A lot of the commenters think it's about entitlement and it's about a silver platter and it's a me. Why am I not on the team? Why am I not good enough? I don't know if that's necessarily the case. I think we're being more scrutinizing of the parents' behavior in filing a lawsuit because your kid didn't make the team. I think that says everything about the sort of parenting that we often poo-poo on this show.
And do you know how hard that is for your kid to go back to school when everyone knows your parents sued?
Yes. Because you didn't make it.
Just kind of deal with it. My son played 5 varsity sports. He was very gifted, and it was a bit of a curse. I wish he didn't play the sports. I left with a bitter taste in my mouth. A lot of people say it's good, and I'm sure it is good for a lot of people. But really, just that mentality, and the child develops a sense of entitlement. I'm good enough. I'm on the team. I don't need the rules. Don't apply to me. Well, he wasn't good enough for Division I, that's a whole different level. And 99% of everyone out there, your kids, I don't care how good, how many all-star teams they make, they're not going to be good enough for Division I. And they're not going to have the size or the speed or the ability. And my son would have done better working at a job.
You know what? There's so much focus on these, on sports during high school. There's a huge focus. And what is it really setting you up for? Because then you go to college and you can't make the team, for goodness sakes. I remember I was a little cheerleader in high school, and I tried out for the cheerleading squad at BYU. I wasn't even like close to making that team. It was an embarrassment at how far behind I was than everyone else. And I went to college and I was like, where's my identity? Like, what am I going to do?
That happened to me.
What am I going to do?
Same thing. I was the all-star, all-state, top athlete, the stud of my school, and I went from that my senior year to walking as a freshman on campus, looking at those guys saying, oh, those are the real players.
Yes.
Where are you from? You know, I'm from Choctaw, Iowa. I'm from so-and-so.
Right.
I'm from Biloxi, Mississippi. I'm like, wow.
I should have been focusing on schoolwork.
You're a large human being. What was I thinking that I'm going to play with you? And you have a full ride.
Scholarships too when you're playing in high school and you're playing sports. Helps you get scholarships for college.
But I wasn't good enough. Are you kidding me?
Of getting a full ride scholarship.
Right, and you know what I did get a scholarship in was my grades. So that was actually what paid off. Yes.
And a lot of people, they sacrifice their degrees. I've known athletes. You can't pursue certain high because you're practicing. You're beat up.
Sure.
Right.
So you ruin your degree. You drop it to something that's easier when you could have been something that you wanted to be. So I think everyone out there should put their kid in rec league, play that 8 games, have a pizza party. Doesn't matter.
I say that now, my kids are 3 and 1, but right now, make it fun.
I'm in on the pizza party.
Yeah, make it fun.
All right, guys.
Orange slices.
If you want to weigh in on this topic, go ahead and hop in the comment section. We're going to move along with the show with some fresh squeezed juice. Vanessa, what do we have?
Okay, what did you think of the last Star Wars movie?
I liked it.
The Last Jedi. A lot of people loved it, but there were some online users who thought otherwise. Well, it turns out many of those critics were Russian trolls. That's according to a study out of the University of Southern California, which looked at every tweet that referenced the movie. It found that more than half came from Russian trolls. The accounts were trying to push extreme right-wing ideas.
That's so weird. So I saw this last night online about the movie Venom. The new movie that just came out with, what's his name? Superhero looking dude. Anybody?
Not Ryan Reynolds.
No, never mind. It doesn't matter. Venom. Who? Tom Hardy. Thank you.
Okay.
Anyway, so Venom just came out. Whole bunch of negative reviews online. And then I saw somebody quote tweet one of them yesterday and said, don't believe these negative tweets about the movie Venom because it's actually an advertisement campaign from the PR department of A Star is Born, the new Bradley Cooper movie. And what they're doing is they're tweeting negative things about Venom, and in the tweet saying, I'm going to have to go see A Star is Born this weekend because it's getting great reviews, and I hear nothing but good things.
What can you trust?
Right. So, like, you're reading, you think your friend is saying, oh, hey, Venom sucks, don't go see it, but really, it's somebody going, we need to drive up the box office sales for A Star is Born, so we're going to say the other big movie in the box office is bad.
That's horrible.
That's just so, it's like the manipulative use of social media for its an unimagined purpose. Like, the people that created Twitter never could have thought that this is what that was going to be used for.
Well, gosh, and taking it one step further, remember all those, last week, all those Amazon employees that were getting in trouble for taking money under the table for deleting bad reviews.
To manipulate the reviews,
and, manipulating reviews for different companies and for different products. What can you trust online?
How about going to restaurants? It seems like every restaurant I ever look up has 5 stars.
Yeah.
Who are they paying to do these reviews for them?
Right.
You know?
Oh, that's interesting.
That's sad.
That is sad.
You just can't believe anything. Word of mouth, that's about it.
Word of mouth, trust your friends. That's about it.
Oh my gosh, guys. I'm so excited.
Extra shot, go on.
Yes, the Arizona State Fair kicks off on Friday. Yeah, we'll be out there 12th today with a preview of what's to come and what mega eats will be available on the Midway this year. This is my favorite time of
What was
year.
the big thing you ate last year for this?
They have, everything out there. I eat the Indian fried bread, the Wiggly Wiggly fries. They have a large...
oh, I remember now.
Fried cheesecake.
That's,
pizza.
It was the deep fried Oreo slash Twinkie thing that they had last year. You were all over that.
Cheesecake. They even have deep fried butter.
Oh, girl, that's too much.
I did try that too.
Why not?
That's too much.
It's called a heart attack.
Yeah, really.
Well, we've all got to go somehow.
Yeah, Vanessa, where can we find you? Where do you usually hang out?
Vanessa every single
In the
year
creepy house.
does the slides.
Yeah, and I do the slide every year,
Okay.
and I play a couple of the games, but mainly down the food aisles.
You like that? Just going? Okay.
I get addicted to the games, the carnival games, and I know
'Cause
you
you
can't.
wanna win, right?
I know they're rigged, and
Yeah.
I know I can't win. I dumped so much money there last year just on the games.
Good for
I really
you.
did.
That's so cool, though, Paul.
It's not cool because I'm not good enough. I'm just like the kid that got cut from varsity. I'm not good enough to be playing the fair games, but I'm playing them anyway. And in this case, they're happy about that because I'm giving them $20 at a time.
remember that.
Instead, just give them $20 and be like, "Can I have that stuff?"
You were saying that you were making a salary now. When you were a kid, you couldn't afford it, so you
Right.
were use your
I'm
money
making up for
this.
lost time. Dad, can I have $5? Now I'm just like, I gotta go to the ATM. I'm gonna win this duck.
Emma, you don't go, right? Because it's too far from your house.
The fair?
Yeah.
I've only been once, and it was for work. The Arizona State
Really?
Fair. Yeah, I know.
I think
my
you should take the
would
kids.
flip
They
out.
will love it.
Yes, we take them
Yeah.
to the Del Mar, they call it the San Diego State Fair now.
Yes, oh, Del Mar Fair.
Del Mar Fair
Oh,
every single year. Where my
Ferris
family's
wheel
from.
over the ocean.
Well, they have special deals. They even have days you can get them free.
That's great.
Yeah.
They have discounts if you go to
Yeah,
Friday.
man.
All kinds of different.
JQ, I'm not trying to make more work for us or anything, but if you want to go and have like a competition in the fair games at some point, just saying.
You'll kill me.
What about an
I'm
eating
terrible.
contest
I will.
instead?
Yeah.
No.
Why not?
How are you trying to get me fatter? Like, that's not, to what end are you using
The
here?
cool thing is,
Fried
I've worked with
Twinkies,
many
come
crews.
on.
We eat. Everyone eats here, and we all have the same struggles. But that's wonderful. I love it. I love you guys. That we support each other. You know,
You're so sweet. You're still in the honeymoon phase.
it is. Yeah, yeah.
I love it.
I know, just because he lost a bunch of weight recently.
I know.
Yeah, let's see if I can keep
Yeah.
it off. That's the key.
Don't go with her to the fair.
No,
know.
that's
We'll
the
leave you
first-
with that little nugget of wisdom, everybody. Thanks for popping into the 12 Today After Show. We'll do this again tomorrow morning, 7:30 sharp, right here on Facebook. Be good, people.
It's October 3rd.